Hello. Let me see if the sound is working. Hi. Oh my goodness, what am I doing here? Hello. I haven't been doing many videos. I've just been doing the dailies. Um, been a bit out of it health wise, but if anybody joins me or catches up later, hello. I've I always put Sundays doing the live as Q&A because I'm happy to answer any questions or try to answer any questions. But it tends to be a bit of a theme because I don't always get people for the first few minutes. So the theme, I found a reactor today called Mr. L. Boyd. Mr. L. Boyd reacts, and then he's got a second channel, Mr. L. Boyd. I can't remember what the other one is, but it's more of a commentary type of channel. And the video that I found that he just put out today was about freedom of speech, and it's something that's been on my mind. So I thought, oh, well, that's really interesting that somebody who's doing a reaction channel is actually he was reacting to a comedian called Rowan Atkinson doing a talk about freedom of speech, and I don't think I've seen anybody cover anything like that, and I haven't seen this speech by Rowan Atkinson either. And he was saying he's basically saying the comedian Rowan Atkinson, who did Mr. Bean, was saying that he's a fan of freedom of speech, and as I say, this reaction channel, this guy who's doing the reaction, was also saying that he's in favor of freedom of speech. I think he was also saying that there are complexities. I watched a few of his other videos, and he was saying some contradictions in, and he's still working out some of the things that he believes. But I thought that's really interesting because in the few reactions that I've done, a few times issues have come up for me where, for example, I was covering some of Ren's music and the theme was suicide, but then there's YouTube having rules about that particular word, but then there's also people that might watch the video having feelings about using that kind of word. And this week I reached out to somebody and said, please, can you do an interview? And she said, yes, interested, but can I talk about this particular situation? And she said, she was talking about what she referred to as plant medicine, and then she got back to me and was saying ayahuasca and stuff. And she said YouTube doesn't like creators talking about things like that. And I said, well, I've seen a few videos about ayahuasca, so I'm kind of surprised. I don't know what the rules are in terms. I don't know what she wants to say, and I don't know what the rules are. But it bothered me, and I wasn't sure where to put or what to do with those feelings. As I say, so that happened in the week, and I was thinking, well, I'm a fan of freedom of speech. Um, I also know that I'm super new at this, and I think I said to her, I don't particularly want to poke the bear. I think that was the expression that I used in terms of try something new. But as I say, I'm a fan of freedom of speech, and I said, can you point me to what the rules are and what YouTube says? As I say, I don't know what this person wants to mention in the interview, and she did say she doesn't have to bring it up. But I like having free flowing conversations, and I don't feel like if I'm asking somebody about something that they believe that I'm promoting it or that I have to agree with them. So anyway, this whole freedom of speech thing has just been on my mind. And for those that have joined me a second ago, I found, let me just mention his name again because you might not have caught that. There was a Mr. L. Boyd reacts. I don't know, have you ever seen any of his reactions? And he was reacting to a speech. And I don't very often see those kind. I tend to see the reactions to do with music. And the speech was about freedom of speech. So it's just been rattling around in my mind. Then somebody else in a video was asking about kind of relationship advice and how do you know, and how it feels when you meet somebody that is right for you. And I mentioned that when I met my husband, we were both in a difficult life situation, and So I'm just checking. So Mamie's just popped in. I was just wondering, Mamie, I was just reading your comment for a second because I thought, crikey, if my sound's not working, Mamie will tell me. But anyway, the sound is working. Yeah. In this video, she asked about relationships, and I said, because my husband and I, my husband's first wife had recently been killed by a drunk driver. So he was in a difficult situation. I'd recently been fired from my work. So I was in a difficult situation. And when we met, we said, no games. I say no playing games and just telling the truth. If something bothers us, then we're going to say it. So all these things have been happening this week about this person saying, am I allowed to talk about this in the interview? This guy talking about freedom of speech, me saying that my values are about not playing games and about saying the truth. I thought I'd just bring it all to you guys and you can sort it all out for me. So, anyway, hi, Mamie. How are you doing? No worries about missing the first few minutes. Oh, you've seen him. You've seen him. He caught my attention because he spent half his year in Spain as well. And he was talking about loving Spain. And obviously, I love Spain. Well, maybe not obviously. Maybe you don't know, but I lived in Spain for about 7 years. So it was interesting to hear what he says as well. But I'm also a bit of a wordy girl in that I like the speeches, and I haven't seen many people reacting and doing reactions to speeches. And in fact, he didn't speak. It wasn't a very long video. He interrupted the speech a couple of times for a few little comments, but he didn't gush as I would. And Mamie's just saying, wow, lots going on there. I've had an odd week, Mamie. I haven't been feeling very well, but I think I've been up in my head quite a lot about direction and what am I doing. One of the reasons is that I really enjoy doing the interviews, but I can't rely on them in terms of making content. And so I suppose it's got me in my head thinking about what do I do? What am I making? I've got 6 or 7 videos in a queue again with copyright. So it's all good fun. And part of this with the, I think a lot of people are interested in, say, the reaction videos. That's fine. But I started with this whole project to document and talk about, I'm trying to have some sort of creator life and what's I'm documenting the journey, and I cringe a little bit at saying the word journey, but I'm documenting all the things that I'm thinking and trying to figure out as I go along. So anyway, how are you, Mamie? So I think people have disappeared. They came, they liked, then they disappeared. I might cut it short today. As I say, I haven't been very well this week. I haven't been able to do extras, and it's been a little bit strange, shall we say. But I thought I'd come on and say that this is what's rattling around my head at the moment. And I suppose I was wondering, how brave am I in terms of things that I'll say and do? And I don't know the rules of YouTube. I know there's a lot of talk about misinformation. I know there's things that with COVID and all of that was really stamped on hard. But I don't know what the rules are now around that subject, for example. And I don't see myself as being provocative, coming on here and expressing some extreme opinion. But I do feel like I'm thinking about rules and what's allowed a lot, rather than what I want to create or what I want to talk about. And I think that's what I was saying, is that I've been up in my head and is this going to work and stuff, rather than relaxing and doing different things. I made a video the other week and it was a bit of a gushy. Somebody was asking me about doing a stream of consciousness video, and I did that. And I enjoyed making it, but I just haven't been well enough to actually play it back and check that it's passable to share with you guys. So Mamie was just saying, she says, I've been a bad girl, been reading more than creating. Yeah. I've come to the sad realization, Mamie, that I'm going to have to get rid of some of the books that I've got. the bookshelf was overflowing, and I haven't been able to read for a few years. So it's like, oh no. I think it's just adding to that sense of overwhelm and okay, just not feeling particularly well. And it's like I need my home to be look simpler and tidier, and for the moment, yeah, focus on what am I drawing, what am I making, doing different things like that. Anyway, Mamie said, "Grr, COVID. I was exposed to much nonsense." Yeah, I'm not sure what the situation is now, Mamie, in terms of like the BBC or YouTube or Facebook and different things. I know there was little warnings that would pop up and talk about misinformation if people were brave enough to talk about it. So anyway, so Mamie's just said, because my comment about too many books for the bookcase, she said that she's bought a new, bigger bookcase. Yeah, I have actually just had a bookcase fitted, but even that didn't take all of my books because, as I say, I love books and I used to love reading. It's just, it's not possible at the moment. And I kept thinking it will become possible. It will become possible. And I think what's happened is that's just making me feel sad of seeing them and really wanting to read them, and then it being a few months later and still not being able to read them. So it's like, okay, let's cut them down a little bit. Let's keep some of the favorites, try and make it so that when I look at the books, it's pleasurable and I'm excited to just even dip in and read a couple of pages, rather than that hunger and to read the whole book and really lose myself in it. Because I kept thinking, oh, at some point I'll use any good time that I've got in the day to do that. But the good times that I have during the day really are about living, just basic living stuff. So, oh, okay. So Mamie says brought 48 kilograms back from and it says back from the Ukraine. But I know that she visited UK. Yes, she's put underneath UK. Yes, didn't you say that did you say you visited parents and dads? You had to clear out the loft or something like that? Yeah, I don't have anything at parents anymore. And say when I was first ill, I got rid of a lot of the books, and then when I was becoming more ill, I got rid of more books, and it's been hard. The books have been hard to let go of. But it's one of the things they talk about with minimalism is fantasy you, and I think that's what it is that fantasy me is I'm reading the books. And then I rearranged the room, and I was thinking a chair, and I bought myself a little light and a little bookcase by there. And it's like I as I say, right now looking at that, it just makes me feel sad. So Mamie saying I want to cry for you. I'm trying not to cry. I'm filling up even now, just thinking about it, filling up. Wow. I'm prepared. Just haven't been well this week. That thing where you say to yourself, oh, I will get better. I will feel better. So anybody, should you in the future watch this, I've been diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. So, and sometimes if I just do too much, then it can make me crash for a few days. So, and if you can hear a little bit of a rustle, it's because I've got a fan on me because I'm overheating. I know I've got a jumper on, but I was fine in the rest of my house. But then as soon as I turned the camera on, I started overheating. So yeah. So I think what's happened is the last week has been a little bit of wipeout, but there are little details. And I think I've just been too tired to stop and put things together. But I was saying to my husband, next week's got to be better, hasn't it? I will tell you one really good thing that happened is that I was interviewing for somebody to come and help me with meal prep and different things. And I found somebody who's lovely. And she came for the interview, and I said, "Can you stay for an hour? I'll pay you. Stay for an hour. Help me out." That gives her a feel for the kind of things that I need help with. And so I'm building up a group of people that I can ask for help and support, because I'd like to be creating and doing different things and reaching out to people, you know, and I haven't been taking care of myself food wise. And it would be, as I say, so I've got somebody to come round and help me with appointments and calendar stuff. I've got somebody with the food, somebody with cleaning. Yeah. So cannot believe we're in March and I feel like I'm still doing New Year, fresh start, sort it all out kind of things. So anyway, so a few of the comments. Let me just say. Mamie says, "Oh, sweetie, it's okay. No, you need to talk about other things because I'll cry again. You will get better. Maybe not in a cured sense, but in the way you deal and cope and organize your life. Yeah. I can't keep thinking when I'm well and different things. So, but I'm really pleased with the people I found to help. So that's really great. That's really great." Mamie said, "Grr, autocorrect." And Tony was saying, "I love that." So typically, I do some experiments in the week with the videos, and I haven't been able to. I think there's just been some minor things. I've been tidying up a little bit and trying to make it easier to move around. I have been investigating gimbals. Do you know gimbals? Sorry, that just spooked me a little bit then, because I looked at the camera and I could see a curtain blowing. I know I've got the fan, but it's that size. It spooked me because the image is not like a mirror image, and I was thinking, who's over there? On the wrong side of me. Anyway, yes, I was looking at gimbals and what would be super simple, and could I record something doing outdoors? So I suppose I had a moment of feeling a little bit excited about experimenting and doing something different. So people saying hi. I haven't heard of that. What's gimbals? Gimbals is the stand that you have, and you can have typically 2 or 3 joints, and you can hold your phone. And when you move, the stand automatically tips and moves to have like a smooth filming experience. But I think what you do at the moment is more watching a video, isn't it? But saying that, aren't you experimenting with doing some other things? So if you are experimenting with wanting to do stream of consciousness or walking along and being outside, then you may hear people talking about gimbals. So Mamie was saying, have you found anything in your experiments that has grabbed your enthusiasm? So have I found anything in my experiments grabbed enthusiasm? I think what's been interesting, I've got a second light. Oh, that's actually showing a little bit. I didn't realize that was showing. There you go. I've been playing around with the second light. I've changed the camera setup a little bit. I wouldn't say that's grabbed my enthusiasm, but it's made me feel like I'm still trying to do this. I'm not just chilling and saying, "Oh, one day I'll wake up and it's all working." I know that I am trying new things and experimenting with new things. I've recently done some reaction videos of a musician that's from Kazakhstan. And I lived in Kazakhstan for a couple of years. So it was that was quite exciting. That was quite exciting to hear people talk about the country and different things. So, but yeah, I think the main thing about the experiments is that idea of kind of putting a message out to the universe or to the muse and to myself of, I want this. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying. I'm not going to wait for somebody to knock on my door and see whether that happens. Talking about knocking on the door, I will read your comments in a second, sweeties. Talking about knocking on people's doors, I have been reaching out to a few mental health charities and not having responses. I was interested in, is there some work that I could do with them related to self-expression and the cartoons and different things? You know what? I'm just sitting here thinking I have done stuff this week. I was thinking, oh, I've just been ill and not done anything. I think it's because it didn't result in anything, but I have been trying different things. One of the groups has said, yes, I'd like to talk to you more, which was interesting. I've just followed it up with an email, waiting to hear back from them. Then, I don't know whether you're into synchronicities and stuff like that. Then, very, very local to me, 5 minutes down the road, I heard that there was a conference about mental health. And there's an open day and you can go along and hear the speakers. Well, I mean, it's 5 minutes away. I can go to that because even if I feel ill, I can get back. My husband can bring me back. So that's no problem. And I suppose I was hoping synchronicity kind of wise that maybe it's a sign. And I was thinking that would be quite exciting. And the last couple of days, I've been dreaming about teaching again and feeling that I miss teaching and that sense of helping somebody learn something. I don't know whether any of these things are possible. But so that was a few things. What I was just thinking then as well is next Tuesday, the 11th, is the 6th-month anniversary of the video I did about the Wren rabbit hole videos, which brought a lot of people to the channel. That was kind of the biggest chunk of new subscribers that I had. So it's a 6-month anniversary. And I've done a little PDF of the cartoons so that I can give out to people. I've just got to figure out how to attach that. So again, those are experiments. That was fun, but it hasn't been completed. It's like, okay, I'll do the PDF and then I've got to learn how to attach it to a video. Little by little. I am curious what Tone Deaf is doing because I know he's exploring different things. But you can hear they're kind of ideas and experiments reach out to this person still. And some of them have been quite exciting. And the idea that I could associate myself with one of these charity groups really lifted me. And I thought, okay, I'm quite excited. That would be fun to do and to talk about. Anyway, where are we? So Tone Deaf said, oh yeah, that's perfect for you. Yes, sir. Tone Deaf says, I am. Thank you for that inspiration. Tone Deaf says, I just showed my GoPro on the live and I'll be more balanced with original content. I'm not surprised. I thought that when I first interviewed you. And I think you probably tell. If we watch the interview back again, you can tell that I'm like, what else do you want to do? What else do you want to do? Yeah. But I see your channel. I think it was at 17,000, wasn't it, today? So your channel is still growing. Oh, Tone Deaf, I was just talking to them earlier. I was thinking about you, actually. Mamie says she knows this chap, Mr. L. Boyd Reacts. But he has a second channel to talk about kind of the piece to camera musings and different things. So he has the one channel for the reactions, the other for the musings. And I could definitely understand why you would do that. But I for me personally, it's a little bit, I think that just would make things harder for me to manage and different things. But I did think of you. So Mamie says, that sounds really interesting because obviously art therapy is a very good thing. Yeah, I never really researched art therapy or anything like that. I know that I miss when I hear and see people speaking, and it's particularly the topic of speaking and thinking on your feet and expressing yourself. That I'm still wanting to jump in and correct people a lot of the time. I still clearly care about that as a subject, figuring out what we're doing. So Mamie says, I'm looking forward to the Brighton content when it comes. Yeah, so this is Tone Deaf, going to be visiting Brighton. And I've never been to Brighton. So Tone Deaf says, yes, blessed, and can't wait until the UK trip to Brighton. Did you say you're going to Manchester as well? I think you said a couple of places, but I've never been to Brighton. Art and teaching is perfect for you, by the way. As I say, still an exploration. So now, this was another experiment. I shall share this. I haven't opened it. Now, have you seen in the Facebook group that they're going to be doing some sort of art pop-up shop? A load of the Ren fans are doing this pop-up shop. I think it's Cornwall. I don't think it's into Devon. I think it's further south into Cornwall. And they're asking people to contribute different art, a maximum of 2 pieces, one that is Ren inspired and one that can be anything. So I've printed a cartoon, and you can see I haven't opened it. I don't know. I'm a bit nervous now, but you're friends. Okay. I put, one of those tile things. Did I open it? Okay. I've never printed the cartoons on anything, so I wasn't sure, other than books. So, you see, and it says, "It was not death she feared; it was misunderstanding." Although I'm sure if the lion misunderstood. So, I ordered this just to see what it would look like, and I'm curious. But I was thinking of them because I haven't got something. This isn't necessarily Ren inspired, I don't think. I've got a couple of pictures which were possibly Ren inspired, but maybe a little bit too loosely. But I thought maybe that's what I do and contribute. I was wondering about doing multiple cartoons on a larger, because they said it could be up to A3. But what do you think? You think putting that as like an art thing? I think the trouble is with the cartoons, I don't know, because part of me was thinking, do I put some? Can you see? I don't know whether that would just be too far back to see anything. So it's weird. You asked me about experiments, and I'm thinking to myself, I did nothing. I haven't experimented. I haven't done anything. And then all these little things fall out. Mamie says, I read your book on my first day in the UK, but I also gave it to my sister because she's been struggling with self-expression and journaling. Okay, thank you. Well, glad you've passed it on. Did you say, so does that mean that she's got it in the UK? I mean, if you feel that you can honestly give a positive review, I'd love a review on Amazon. And then Mamie says, I did a comic cartoon of the cosmos yells Ren at me, but I named my pen. I didn't send that to you. I did a cartoon of that as well. I think I hesitated to send it to you. I didn't colour it in. I wish I'd just sent it to you now. It's on my iPad. Maybe later I'll send it to you. Yeah, I've got a picture, and it's kind of like there's 2 angels up in the sky, and there's you writing, but I didn't think I'd made it clear enough. It's like, oh, I'll call you Ren, but I don't think I made it clear enough in the image because it was so quick that you were calling the pen Ren, and then there's 2 angels up above you going Ren, Ren, Ren. So, that's funny that you were drawing it too. So did you, after you were reading the book, did you feel a little bit more confident about doing the cartoon? So clearly you've picked up the pen and done that. Hi to Bell Development. Hi. I've just been sharing. So I typically try to do some experiments in the week, and I was just saying to the guys that I haven't done any experiments. But I lied. I have been exploring and figuring out different things. So they're saying aloha. So and Mamie saying definitely. And saying hi. Got any gossip for us? We were just talking earlier about. I started it by talking about freedom of speech, but because I'd found this reactor who'd reacted to a speech about freedom of speech. And I don't know how you feel. Oh, that was other thing about freedom of speech. Oh, what was his name? King Dotter, is it? King Dotter? Is that the name? I noticed on this guy that this Mr. L. Boyd Reacts, King Dotter was a subscriber, and I know some of the story about King Dotter, but I don't know. I haven't watched all of the songs and the videos and whatever about it, but I commented, or I think he was saying about ask a question, and I asked a question in one of the comments, and he was perfectly nice and helpful to me. But I know that there was a lot of pushback about does he not like Ren, and I was thinking this comes back to about the reaction videos. Do we only like the reactors that say things that we like? Just after is fine, and Belle just said no problem about popping in and popping out. Nice to see you. Hi. It's fun. It's fun to think that I've spoken and chatted to people. Just having a look if there's any comments I missed. Oh, and Film Finds. Hi, Jess. Hey. I saw the last thumbnail and you're just laughing your socks off. And I think you were doing one of the Ren, is it Ren and Chinchilla or Ren songs? And I haven't stopped to have time to watch your reaction because I was thinking, oh no, maybe I need to watch the original first and then watch your reaction. But I've saved it because you were looking like you were just laughing so much. It was really funny. So, dear me. Ren and Sam, really fun original video. Oh, it's Ren and Sam, not Chinchilla. Yeah. It was nice to see you laughing and stuff. It's funny because typically I don't pay too much attention to the thumbnail. I'm looking at what the song is that the reaction is to. But as I say, I think you're just rolling back and laughing. And I thought, oh, I want to see that. I want to see what you find so funny. Although I do remember you've got a bit of a dark sense of humour, haven't you? Didn't you? Wasn't it the Cujo beatdown that you started laughing at? And you were just thinking that's really funny. Like the idea of torture and stuff like that. And then Film Fine says, I never know what to put in the thumbnail. I give very little thought to it. I let YouTube decide generally. I think on a couple of the interviews, I thought it was more important that we, out of picking from the three, I thought it was more important to look like we were having fun. I could have been like studious and different things, but I thought no, it's a chat, it's a conversation. So I wanted it to look like we were having fun. So Phil Finds is kind of correcting me. She says the torture wasn't funny, LOL. The watching Ben having fun, giving into his dark side was funny. Yeah. I think you couldn't believe it, but also there was some horror. I don't know, is the word memes? Themes, ideas from horror films. I know you love your horror films, so I think when you spotted those things coming up, I think that tickled you as well. And she says, but no, the original video is just silly. So Mamie says, YouTube auto-gen thumbnails hate me. That's funny. Oh, dear me. That makes me want to draw something too. Auto-generated thumbnails hate me. So. Oh, dear. Tropes? Is it tropes? Mamie's not having fun with autocorrect at the moment, although she is good with words, so she is my girl for telling me what the different words are. Yeah, I know Jess can geek out about the different movie things, but particular for the horror movies. Oh, dear me, so it's all good fun. Anybody else submitting art or a creation for this pop-up art shop in Cornwall? Anybody doing anything? I'm guessing Sarah. I'm guessing a few people that I've interviewed and chatted to may well do. But I don't think I'll be travelling down. I had a quick check. I think it's about 5 or 6 hours travel to get to the shop. So I can't imagine me doing that. But it'd be fun to be involved. So Mamie says, "No, I'm not. I'm on my phone. Film finds. I love all movies except westerns, I guess. Ooh, I've been to Cornwall. It was so lovely. Yeah, I'm heading to Devon on holiday. So Devon is just borders Cornwall. Yeah, but I think one of the Ren fans lives there, and they've managed to have a shop for, I don't know whether it's a few days or a week. And it seems like there's a lot of people who are very creative and want to make, and some of it is going to be sort of fan art and different things, particularly relating to Ren or Chinchilla or that little group of people. But they said just submit two things, one which is particularly Ren, and one could be anything. So, but I thought it's okay. I can play and explore. I mean, I haven't decided if this is the right one to send. As I say, it's just my first experiment. So, first experiment and see what. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, cream teas. Cream teas all around. I think people are hitting send before they've finished writing, and then autocorrect is jumping in. So Film Finds says, "Yeah, I can't do the art anyway." Mamie says, "I love that piece you've done. Thank you, thank you." You know what, Mamie? I'm in a funny place where I wish I was the kind of creator artist that was just like, "Yeah, I love it, and I don't need your praise." But it is nice to be told that you like things too. So I'm still in that place. I know for the cartoons, they tickle me and I enjoy looking at them because I feel like they're revealing of something in me. And I know when I first started drawing them, it was a surprise to me that I could make myself laugh. I thought, as I say, I thought I was much more of an overthinker, serious person. So to think that I could, I don't know, some contradiction or some oddity that I draw. I know once I tried to draw my dog Layla, and in the end, I had to do a label with an arrow saying dog because it didn't look like a dog at all. So, Mamie says, weirdly, I've just done a reflection on Misunderstood by Nina Simone. I don't know that. Yeah. And Bill Bynes. Bill Bynes not being good to self. I don't have any actual talent. I can only point at other people's art and overly explain that it's pretty. Have I properly said congratulations on the 1,000? And I think you're over the comfortably over the 1,000 now. Congratulations. Doo-doo. Very exciting. I think we all, a similar time starting out and experimenting and not knowing where things are going. So, yeah, Film Fine says you DM me. Yeah. Funnily enough, this is strange. I sent you a DM, but although you're not speaking back to me, and I don't know, I'm just doing a video, I feel like I'm talking to you. This is weird. So, yeah, it's fun. It's nice to know that you're enjoying it and doing the reactions. I was in one of the interviews that I was doing lately, they were saying about how many reaction videos they do. And they said, oh, I do 8 to 12 videos. And I went, wow, a week? Like, wow, that's a lot of videos a week. And he went, a day. I was thinking, oh gosh, I'm not doing anywhere near enough of these videos. Well, I say nowhere near enough. I'm happy with the amount of videos that I'm doing. But people who have much bigger channels are doing a lot of reactions every day. So, Film Finds, I just this week had a creator I'm a massive fan of comment on my reaction, which was huge for me. That's nice. Was it? Sorry, I'm curious. Is this a musician or is this somebody from the movie world? That's exciting. Do you feel like now that you're creating and doing different things, do you feel like they're still kind of on a pedestal, or do you feel a little bit more equal that you can reach out to them? I suppose it depends on how big a creator and they are. Mamie just said, I did a weird little comic about dyslexic vegans against Dracula. No more steaks for Dracula, and they are all armed with carrots. Yeah, I did a Dracula once. I think the phrase was, I tend to like a particular phrase. There are some times where I've been telling a story about something that's happened in my past or an idea that comes up, but it tends to be a phrase. And I think it was lot at stake. And then there was Dracula going, what'd you say? So yeah. Dracula is harder to draw than I thought it was going to be. Oh dear. Film 5 Mamie says, I love that kind of getting a bit fangirly. Yeah. Do you know what I've been doing lately as well? On Instagram and on YouTube, I've been leaving what I would feel are better comments. And it's been quite interesting in terms of I've never really paid attention to if anybody liked my comment or replied to a comment. The, on somebody else's channel, I've never paid any attention to that. But lately, I've been sharing a little bit more because I've been thinking about the person making the video and creating. And I know from my point of view, it's great when somebody takes the time in a comment to add a little bit more information because you don't know what's going to help that creator think, oh yeah, their situation was a little bit different. I could do another video going off in a slightly different direction. So I feel like I've been a lot more generous in the comments. Generous as in I'll stop and take the time and share a bit. And that's because of how amazing people have been with me and the comments that they've given me and the help and encouragement, but also sometimes sharing something about themselves or what's happening with them. And it makes you feel like you know them. That kind of makes it easier to make content for them later. Yeah. But I know even just getting a very short reply when I'm on somebody else's channel and leave a comment and then the original creator makes a comment. Did I tell you that the other week there was a little bit of a spat in the comments? I made a comment. One guy was critical about my channel, and then this other guy jumped in and was defending me, and then they had a little blah, 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 and I just stayed out of it. Anyway. Film finds. He's a musician YouTube creator. He did a Wes Anderson parody. So I did an analysis breaking down all the ways it mimicked the style, and they DM me really sweet messages. That's nice. That's nice. But what that makes me think of is it's really interesting how our opinion of the creator. You might like the creator already, but that they stop and take the time and to do the messages. And I'm sure when you're really big in, have thousands of comments, it isn't feasible to do that. But it's really nice that when they can, they do. I think it gives a lot of good vibes. Film finds. Oh God, absolutely not. They are all on pedestals to me. I'm just explaining why I like a thing on camera. They're the ones making the things worth talking about. Yeah. This is how I still get excited seeing the bigger creators, especially when I think they're really comfortable on camera. So Mamie says, silly things tickle me. I can see the picture in my head, but all I produce is a silly stick drawing. But at least I record it. Yeah. I kind of lent into the fact that my drawings were not so great. So I know, for example, I find it kind of funny that I may say something that's quite positive and inspiring, but then my pen slips for her face. I don't know, and she's just looking really confused or angry or something like that. And I never intended that. And it's like, okay, happy accident, you know, kind of has a slightly different meaning to what I originally thought I was doing. And Film Fine says, I still hate being on camera. It's hard to look at myself when I edit. Oh, yeah, you edit. I try not to edit. I did this stream of consciousness video, which is supposed to be for my Friday night video art, my own art project type of thing. And I haven't been well enough to stop and watch it back. But also, I think part of me was just, it feels a little bit uncomfortable to watch it. Film Finds says, I just did an audio commentary podcast type thing. I had to edit and it took hours, but it was so nice not to have to look at myself. Oh dear. Yeah. Let's say we're all figuring things out, aren't we? An audio commentary podcast type thing. Yeah. So Mamie's just chatting to Film Fine saying, I feel that editing myself. It is just painful. I try to train my eyes on the other person and just be checking for some main things. I did do a little daily video and normally like the 1.5 minute videos, I'm quickly looking, but I'm mainly checking that there's no catastrophes. And I noticed there was a big black bit in my teeth, and I thought, okay, stop. This is the point of checking the video, isn't it? I will stop and re-record it because it was just a 1.5 minute video. So, moral of the story, check there's no black bits in your teeth before you hit record. Film Fine says, but my buddy, as a present for getting to 1,000 followers, just got me a microphone. So yay. Nice buddy. I'm like an actual YouTuber now. Yeah. Chris, my husband, was saying I need one of those signs that says like on air or recording or something like that. So. And then Tone Deaf says, I had the ashy elbows right before the live. Haha, it happens to the best of us. Ashy elbows. Oh, dear me. Oh, my daughter's Sunday night is lotions and potions, some moisturizers and everything. So there'll be no ashy elbows. Film Fine says, I still need to actually try it live. I want to, but then I chicken out. I know that I don't know whether you're on Facebook, Jess, but my first live that I did was on Facebook, and I knew that it would whiz past for people. I found that a bit easier. But Tone Deaf had, I think when he did his first live, he had about 16,000 subscribers. So he just dived in. Mamie says, my hubby says I need one of those signs. Yeah, Tone Deaf, go for it. Somebody pushed me. Yeah, and I think Tone Deaf used some fancy software to tie it up to like YouTube, and I think it was Instagram or something else. I don't know. And he had it all set up. But I know you'll see my early lives and stuff. Also, if people are, I mean, you'll see the same kind of names pop up, but you will find people want to support you in this community. Yeah. You don't know. I mean, obviously, there's no way to know if it's a good time of the day or a good day. And I know when I've launched things in the past, particularly because we've got a lot of Ren fans, and then Ren will surprise me in that he's releasing a song at exactly the same time. And you think, oh, you know, a lot of the fans are going to be going over there. But I think for you, Jess, you're going to have a variety of, I would have thought you've got fans from a lot of different areas. Do you know if they're all from America or I don't know? It's all guesswork. It's all guesswork. I have definitely done lives where nobody came and I was just me chatting to myself and getting the giggles, really. Film Fine says, yeah, but then like people I actually know can see it. Yeah, that's the trouble with Facebook is people you know can see it, but it disappears really quickly. Somehow doing it in front of strangers is less scary than that one. Yeah, I agree. I think there's pros and cons of both. I didn't have at that particular time. This was a few years ago, so I had nothing on YouTube, and then I joined an app. I was on an app for a little while, and I think I got up to about 10,000 followers or something, and then they changed the rules, and I was kicked off. So I won't be doing. I don't know. I say I won't be doing that again. Obviously, that's a possibility on YouTube, isn't it? So, but it was more the teaching side of things that I was doing there, and I thought, okay, let's try something else. Don't say Film Finds. I mean, I've done TikTok lives tons of times. I don't know why YouTube feels different. Yeah. It does though, doesn't it? Because I know when I film sitting here, it feels different to me sitting in the lounge. And as I say, I've just set up the conservatory type area with a chair, and I thought I'll move and go sit over there and experiment and things. So Mamie says, yes, Joanne, you motivating force here. I was just, you were saying about it feels different. Doing a live there feels different to doing lives other places. It's one of the things that I've noticed, yes, about being on video, but also about speaking. And people say to me, oh, about being confident. And it's almost like once you've got confidence, you'll be confident in lots of different situations. And that was not my experience. And I've just been watching a few videos about ADHD and autism. And they were saying, they were particularly referencing the idea of abstraction. I don't know whether I'm geeking out a bit too much for you here. They were talking about Temple Grandin, is it, who talks about autism. And when she thinks of a church, she thinks of a specific church. She doesn't abstract out and think of like a little emoji church symbol. And I was wondering how that relates to my experience of being on camera and on speaking, in that when I build confidence, I build it in a particular situation, talking about a particular thing. And then when I move to something else, I think there's a little bit of confidence that moves with me, but I sometimes feel like I'm starting again. So I don't seem to have that abstract, oh, this is just speaking. This is just being on camera. It's all the same thing. It really feels different to me. So I geeked out a bit then. Mamie was saying, yes, Joanne, you motivating force here. Film Finds. No, I have some from Australia and the UK. Okay. Well, then it's really what time is good for you if you're working and different things in terms of doing the live. And she says, and now I have a bunch of people who follow me for Lady Gaga videos, which is sweet because I'm fully honest in the reactions and not liking the music, but they enjoy the visuals breakdown. Yeah, I've seen one of your Lady Gaga. But you weren't rude about her or anything. You're just saying, no, it's not your thing. I think it's been interesting. There's a few times where I've come to that point where I'm not getting it. And what you say, and also whether you release the video, isn't it? Once you've done that, you're thinking, was that a little bit harsh? But there's normally something that I'm happy that I've had the experience of watching them. Mamie says, perhaps I ought to try it and talk to the ether. Perhaps it's better to get it over with while I have a super microscopic tiny channel. Yeah. Well, I think for me, I was concerned about the tech side of things. So when you do a live, you click go live, and then it does a countdown 3, 2, 1. But you know what I mean? I wasn't sure am I live now? Am I live now? Is there another button to press to make sure it's live? And then when it ends, you end the stream, but then you have to click another button to finally end it. And I think being aware and at least having some familiarity with all the steps and the tech side of it was useful, because obviously you're worried about, can I speak and will anybody show up? But at least if you know, oh, there's that button and then I have to click that button and then that button. I think that would be useful for you. And if you tell us when you're doing it, I'm sure I can be around. Give you a handful of questions. Film finds. Yeah, that's why I kind of like having a tiny channel, because I can just try stuff and see what I actually like doing and want more of. Yeah. But I mean, Jess, people were saying to me that I can't keep talking about myself as in trying to create and trying to do things, because they're like, you are doing it. And then although you're saying you've got a small channel, you're now over 1,000 subscribers and you already have the 4,000, well over the 4,000 watch hours. So I think, is it 6 or 8% of YouTube channels that are in that monetized band? So you're already in the elite 6 or 8%. I can't remember, 6 or 8%. Tone Deaf says, Film Hunt, yes, I love just being able to float wherever. But that flexibility is an amazing feeling since you're still finding your audience. It's all a journey. Phil Vines, the way I see it, if they have fans, they're probably good at their genre. It just isn't my taste. Yeah. And I know for me, I don't claim to have great taste when it comes to music. For me, the music side of things is kind of a new area. And I mean, honestly, they were saying to me, go watch 21 Pilots. Never heard of 21 Pilots. And then I go and watching it. And I can't remember, is it 1 billion views or multiple million views? Where have I been hiding? I do not know where I've been. I had the excuse for a little while that I was living overseas, and so I wasn't tapped into anything like that. So anyway, I'll just go back up a few comments. Maybe saying, oh, bless. Film finds, I have the over 4,000 watch hours because I talk for too long in everyone. She has well over the 4,000. Well over the 4,000. And although she's joking and saying that she talks for too long in every video, she also does a lot more videos than I do. She puts the content out too. So Tone Deaf says, wait, so you have 4,000 now? She told me well over 4,000. Well over 4,000. I won't give the number. So yeah, so if she wanted to monetize, she could. I don't know what she wants to do. And Mamie says, ooh, elite. That sounds so sparkly. And then Tone Deaf saying, so you're monetized now? Oh, Phil Vines, I am. I've made $1.50. Yay! You didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that. I asked you if you were going to monetize, and you said you weren't sure. Oh, dear me. That must be exciting. I know when I see book sales and like the stickers being sold and different things, it's like a couple of dollars here and there. It's still nice. And then Toad Deaf says, I screenshot my first dollar. Yeah. That's really great. Reminded me to keep going. Phil Bynes, I just got approved. I was told it would take like a month to hear back. Yay. And it made me say, yay, Jess. I did that medium about 3 years ago. Oh, dear. That's really great. I have not been doing well on the hours watched, but I haven't been created. The last week, I haven't really created anything. Well, as I say, I did a handful of reaction videos. I made the PDF. So I've been making some things. The reaction videos are in copyright. And as I say, there are a couple of other videos which I recorded, and I just hadn't been well enough to stop and watch them. That's one of the problems of when I'm not feeling particularly well, is that I don't feel sharp enough to spot any problems. So So I do have to take my time. But I did have over 1,200 tabs open, and I've reduced it down to 800. So that's good. Not on my laptop, on my iPad. Film Vines. I worry about live because of my ADHD. I get lost in talking. Yeah. So Mamie says, then they booted me because I didn't have 100 followers. Okay, we're all having these experiences. Tone Deaf says, the tabs get wild sometimes. I had these ideas, and the trouble is that I see a very what I realize now is it's very ADHD world. It's of this idea, this idea, this idea, and I think I'll write it down and I'll remember, and I'll take a screenshot, and then I'll come back to it, and I'll save that post, and then I'll remember. And Mamie says that's worse than my 100+ tabs. It used to be that there was a maximum of 500, but the latest update it seems to be going for more. But I was quite proud that I shut down 400. Film fine. See, I sometimes record when I'm not doing well emotionally because it kicks me out of my brain and makes me focus on something outside myself. I'm just always honest if I'm not doing well that day. Yeah. Film finds. I maxed out the 500 tabs the other day. Yeah. And my husband's shocked. And he's like, don't do that. You know, why do you do that? And it's like, well, I think maybe I need to embrace the fact that that is what I do. I struggle about, will I remember all these things? And I don't know about you, but I have ideas and creative thoughts about what I want to make, or there's particular phrases I hear and I want to draw about. But then there's also theatre things or school stuff or home stuff and lots of different things that I need to be doing. Talking about lots of different things I need to be doing. Saying, Ted episode, Chris is a good man. Film Vines, thankfully, was just able to get back on my ADHD meds, so I'm able to have a brain again. Yeah, as I say, because I was feeling ill, I've got somebody to help me do appointments and calendar stuff. But I reckon I should have had her my whole adult life, or somebody like her, sitting with me for 2 hours. And I go, sometimes I cry, and I go, oh, there's too much to do, there's too much. And she's go, okay, let's do a list. Let's prioritize what needs to be done today. And sometimes she's talking to me and she's trying to calm me down, and I'm getting up and actually moving letters and doing things as she's talking. She's like, sit down, calm down, and then we get through things. So yeah, although I finally said, yeah, I'm going to do this and pay money because of being ill, I reckon I should have had somebody like that. My external brain type of thing. Anyway, guys, I've loved chatting to you. I'm just going to double check on these comments, but it's bedtime for my daughter, so I should be doing bedtime. Let me just quickly read this. So, Film Finance, I'm able to have a brain again. That sounds amazing. Yeah, I started making a list the night before for every day now. I don't always follow it, but the list is there. Yeah, I've been doing a lot better. I think I've accepted that I may write the same thing out on multiple calendars and multiple lists. And it's like, but I need to keep writing it out to be confident that I'm remembering it. And also, if it's important, if it's a phone call and it's a date that I'm booking, I wait until this person is here and she can do the thinking part where she's cross-checking, is this the right day? Have you confirmed that with different people if I've got to write an email and stuff like that? So that just takes off a lot of the pressure. And things like I'd pay the deposit on a holiday and I had to pay the final installment, and she double checks that I'm doing that correctly and things like that. So it just takes off some of the stress and pressure of me of reading some of the fine print. So I'm just trying to read. I've got to go further back up. Tone Dev says that sounds good, and you have that outlet. That's great. Stay blessed. Chat soon. I can't type tonight. Also time for bed. Film Vines. Yes, that's something I've had to accept too. Mamie says I do list to daily tasks for morning and afternoon. Mamie says with sticky boxes. Yeah, I like sticky coloured. I like felt tips. I like sticky bits of paper. But then I normally get like a huge pile, and then this lady comes and we go through it and we organise what's priority and what's not. And Phil finds like it's not a failure if I have to write it over and over again. No, I think I was trying to simplify things and have just one system. But if I didn't have that system with me when I had the thoughts, then I still ended up with another scrap of paper. So it's like, okay, let's not beat ourselves up about that. Then she's saying, Mamie saying, ticky boxes and sticky labels. Phil finds now I feel like I should record something. A live. You're going to go do a live, Jess? A sneaky quick live video. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for coming. And yeah, thank you for coming, and congratulations to Jess again on being earning and monetized on YouTube. So I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.